everyone, and welcome back to my channel and to a very, very exciting vlog, a travel vlog actually. We are in Cornwall, which is very exciting because it is my first time here. We've been planning this trip for a couple months now, a few months. We've been thinking about what to do because when my visa was approved, we thought about celebrating with a trip somewhere, and we debated going out of the country, we debated staying in, and we ultimately decided that this year going to Cornwall would be best for us, so that's what we're doing. We drove down this morning, we just got here. It took around 2 hours, like a little over 2 hours to get here really, and it wasn't too bad actually. It's Saturday, so there was no like traffic or anything. Is it Saturday? Hold on, I gotta know. Yes, it is. It is Saturday, I think. So no traffic or anything. It was perfect. And we are at the Eden Project now, which is our first stop. And I want to quickly tell you about the Eden Project because I didn't really know what it was until Tom explained it to me. But I'm using Google because I don't want to get it wrong. So the Eden Project is an educational charity, social enterprise, and eco-destination in Cornwall, UK, that was built on a former China clay pit. It features 2 large domed biomes housing a warm, wet rainforest and a Mediterranean garden, as well as outdoor gardens and art installations. Its mission is to demonstrate and inspire positive, sustainable action for the planet through gardens, education, and projects like the Big Lunch Community Initiative. So the key features are the 2 biomes, the rainforest biome and the Mediterranean biome, outdoor gardens, and nature's playground. So there's going to be a lot to see here, but we are going to start with lunch because we're hungry. It is 11:20 and we get to go in at 11:30, so we're going to head in. I'm going to take you along on this whole trip with us. After the Eden Project, we're going to go to our bed and breakfast that we've booked. It is a beautiful historic house. It's going to be lovely and I'll show you all of it. And I'm going to try not to film every little thing. I'm just going to try to film the more exciting parts, although I've never been here, so all of it is very exciting to me. But we're going to just see how it goes, and yeah, I'll take you along with us. Tom is with me, of course. It's just the 2 of us, and let's go explore the Eden Project. All right, everyone, we are now at our bed and breakfast. Can you believe this place? I knew from the pictures it was going to be beautiful, but wow, I think I'm moving in, okay? I'm serious, it is beautiful. So we are the first ones to arrive. So the host gave us a bit of a, a bit of a tour. Where obviously they live in the house, so obviously we can't see all of it, but we got to see a bit of downstairs. She showed us the drawing room where we're gonna have our breakfast in the mornings. It's just so lovely. I'm gonna tell you a bit of history about the house as well, and I just want to show you. So this is, I didn't even know this was part of our room. It's like an extra little room that we don't need, but how nice is it to have the extra space? The view in the front of the house is incredible. That's just so lovely. I can't get over it, you guys. I'm so happy. Okay. Yeah, so I already showed it to you, but bathroom, everything's quite spacious. I hope you can see that. And then our room is here. I've already started unpacking all my stuff. Do you want to say hi? You happy with the room?
I am.
It's incredible, isn't it? We want to live here. I think we're moving in. But yeah, I've got my vanity so I can do my makeup and everything in the mornings. Yeah, we're very happy. Tom and I are quite picky about hotels and where we're going to stay, because Tom and I are the kind of people who believe that you're not just using a hotel to sleep in. It's part of the experience. It's part of the trip. You might as well stay somewhere, as nice as you can afford, but somewhere that still feels somewhat luxurious. And this is very us. It's just very like traditional but beautiful, and oh my goodness. So I'll tell you a bit about the history of the place. So I'll leave this place linked down below as well. We are staying in Bodmin, and this is the place, the home is called Trewerdale, I think is how you pronounce it. So I'll tell you a bit about it, but I'm going to read it from my phone. So Trewerdale has been home to the Edward Collins family for over 300 years. My husband George grew up here from the age of 7, and despite having 2 older sisters, knew that one day he would inherit Trewerdale. We are the 10th generation to live here. The house sits in 10 acres of mature gardens, woodland, and pasture. We moved into the house in 2020 and opened for business in 2023. So that's pretty amazing. Yeah, I imagine inheriting this house. I would just be over the moon. I would never leave. But anyway, that's that. So it is now 5 o'clock. I just want to say also the Eden project was incredible. I don't know what I was expecting, but it exceeded my expectations. There was a lot to see and do there. One of the domes was the rainforest dome, and the other was the Mediterranean one. I liked the Mediterranean one a bit more, but the rainforest one was very, very cool too. A lot to see. It was very humid in that one, and they even had a cool room where you can go and cool down, which I needed. But it was really amazing. There was so much there, and it was just lovely. And the weather today has been so much better than I thought. So the trip is off to a really great start. I'm going to try not to yap too much though, because again, I don't want this video to be forever long, but I hope you're enjoying so far. We have plans to go to dinner just close by tonight to keep it simple, but we told the host where we're going to be going. It's called St. Mabon, which is a pub very close by, like 15 minutes away, but they said it can get quite rowdy, and it is a Saturday. So Tom and I are not rowdy, like crazy, loud people. It's not really our vibe. So we might change it. We might see how it goes. So I'll keep you updated. I just thought I would show you my outfit really quickly today as well. I was quite dressed up for the Eden project, but here we are. I'm overdressed all the time. So I'll start from the bottom. I have my white Stan Smiths. These are just some black straight mom jeans from Mango. I have this black belt. I think it's from John Lewis, but it's a nice leather belt. I have a black tank top from Abercrombie, this striped waistcoat from H&M. I love the kind of boucle fabric and the gold buttons. And then on top is this kind of somewhat trench coat. I got this in Paris, actually, back in 2020. And then, yeah, just some gold dainty jewelry, my watch, nothing crazy. I had some black sunglasses on. I actually had my hair in a braid today, which I normally don't do hairstyles. I feel like I'm so boring with my hair, but I thought I would do something different today, and it's also very windy, so I thought I'd try to protect my hair from getting too frizzy. So far, so good. Hello everyone, it is day 2 of our trip to Cornwall, our first full day technically. We had a great night's sleep. I have to say the pillows are so comfortable. Yeah, it was a really nice sleep. I naturally woke up quite early because we went to bed, early I guess. It was before 10. I was exhausted. So yeah, had a great sleep. And it's a new day, so we went downstairs for breakfast. And the dining room is stunning. The drawing room, beautiful. I got a few clips on my phone just because there were other people eating with us and I just didn't want to be disrespectful, but we're all tourists here. They were 4 women from Austria actually, and so we got to chat with them a little bit. And yeah, so nothing too crazy. Breakfast was really nice. We had a cooked breakfast, and it was very tasty and definitely filling enough for this morning. And yeah, we're gonna head out. It is a rainy day. I'm not sure if you can see. It is a very rainy day. I do think it's gonna stop at some point. Not sure when, but maybe late afternoon, so maybe early afternoon. But yeah, it's a rainy day. So we've had to change our plans a little bit. We were going to go to the Lost Gardens of Helligan today, but tickets for Lost Garden, they're like, in total we'd have to spend like £60, and we just thought because it's such a rainy morning, it probably doesn't make sense to spend that kind of money, just be outside, you know, I don't know, I just think we would enjoy it a bit more if it wasn't pouring. So we decided against that. I mean, we could still go sometime in the coming days, but for now we decided not to do that. Instead, we are going to a National Trust property that I'm probably going to butcher the name of. Lanhydrock? Lanhydrock. It's a National Trust property very close to where we're staying. We thought we can go see the house, and then if it lightens up we can walk around the gardens a little bit. Tom and I are National Trust members, so it's free, not free, but you know what I mean, it feels free to go, so we're gonna do that. We want to have a cream tea because that's quite a Cornish thing, so I want to have a cream tea at some point, maybe today. And then after that I think we're gonna head to Mevagissey, I think is how you say it. Is that more of a harbor, Tom?
Yeah.
So it's more of a harbor, but should be nice. So yeah, hopefully things lighten up outside. And I meant to say, by the way, our tickets to Eden, we actually won those. I don't think I mentioned that. So Tom and I are back on our winning streak, and we won 4 tickets to the Eden Project. So we didn't have to pay at all yesterday, which was amazing. It was so worth doing and worth seeing, and we were going to pay anyway. You know, if we didn't win the tickets, we were going to pay for sure. We were going to see it, but it was so nice that we didn't have to. So that's that. I'll show you my outfit. It's nothing, again, it's quite simple because it's a rainy day, but I'll show it to you and then we should probably get going. So starting from the bottom, my white Stan Smiths. I actually had to clean these before this trip, and I'm so glad I did. They're not perfect, but they're definitely more white than they were before. And then I've just got these black ankle pants on. These are from Old Navy. My black belt from John Lewis. This purple knitted top is French Connection, but I think I got it at Marshall's in the US. And then another striped piece because I feel like I wear stripes a lot, and also they're quite nautical. So I think I just packed a lot of stripey things. But this is a really nice cardigan from Threadbare. It's got these gold buttons and it's just really comfy. I'm gonna have to wear a raincoat because it is raining. But yeah, so little bit of gold jewelry, nothing too fancy, my watch and my little earrings, but that's it. So we're gonna get going. Again, it's raining, so I'll try and film what I can today. And then tomorrow is a very, very busy day, so hopefully things lighten up and hopefully we'll see some sunshine. So let's get going. Alright everyone, so it is, I guess, day 3 of our Cornwall trip. I'll quickly tell you a bit about yesterday. So we started off the day, like I said, at Lanhydrock, I think is how you say it. It is a National Trust property. Unfortunately, I think everyone else in the area had the same idea because it was busy. Because it was a rainy morning, I just thought, you know, everyone probably thought that let's go inside somewhere, and the house at Lanhydrock, I think I'm saying it right, is beautiful. It's a huge house. Obviously you can't see all of it, but we got to see a few of the rooms and it was just beautiful. I can't get over the fact that there are so many like houses here in the UK and furniture and things that are so old. And I'm honestly grateful for the National Trust that they protect all of those things, because it would be such a shame for all of that to disappear. But actually something interesting we found out, Lucy, the host here at our B&B, was saying that the people who used to own that house also owned this one here at Trewerdale, which is really, really cool. So I had no idea, but we spent the morning there. It was raining on and off a lot yesterday, so it rained all morning. And then as we, finished in the house, we walked around the gardens a little bit. It was still raining. And then just as we were leaving, the sun came out. And then we were trying to decide whether we wanted to go to Mevagissey or Fowey. And we ended up going to Fowey, and we kind of compared the two, and we were like, okay, let's go to Fowey. It's a bit closer. And because we decided not to do the Lost Gardens of Helligan, it just made sense, because Helligan and Mevagissey are near each other, and Fowey was not too far away from here. So we just figured, let's do that. And so I'm trying to think if we did anything in between, but I don't think we did. I think we went straight from Lanhydrock to Fowey. And Fowey was beautiful. So again, kind of rained on and off. We did see some sunshine toward the end of the day, which was nice. So as soon as we got to Fowey, we went to a place, I think it was called Brown Sugar, and we thought for lunch we would just have a cream tea, because it's a Cornish thing to do, I think, to have a cream tea, and so we knew we had to do that before we left. So it was quite packed in there because it was a tiny little cafe, but Tom and I both had our cream teas. We both got 2 scones each, so it was very filling, but very tasty. I had mine with a fruit tea, and Tom had a strong Earl Grey. And it was very great. We also looked up recommendations for cream tea. So yeah, Brown Sugar was one of the top ones, and it was kind of pricey, but it was good. So yeah, really enjoyed that. And then we spent time walking around Fowey. It's more of a harbor town, so it's not necessarily like beaches, but it was beautiful. It reminded me a bit of Dartmouth, like a smaller version of Dartmouth, because I think it was February of 2022, Tom and I went to Dartmouth and I loved it. So kind of reminded me of that, but maybe it's because it's the only other harbor town I've seen in the UK. But yeah, Fowey was really elegant and lovely. There were some nice shops, but most of them were closing by the time we got around to kind of exploring the town. But it was lovely. So yeah, lots of boats on the water. It was just beautiful views. Yeah, it was really, really stunning. So yeah, we got lots of photos. I'm excited about one photo in particular because there was one moment where it was raining and we were kind of hiding under this cover, and a few other people were just hiding from the rain with us, and the rain stopped and a big rainbow just appeared out of nowhere, and there was a boat going right under it, and I was like, I need to get a picture, and I did. And I have to look at it on a bigger screen when we get back home, but I love that picture and I hope it's good quality. So I love my camera, and I love that I've learned so much from Tom, and I've learned a lot more about photography. So I think my photos have gotten so much better over the years, but especially once I got this camera, it made all the difference. Taking photos from a phone compared to this does not compare, really. Outfit of the day real quick. I've got my Stan Smiths. Again, these are just kind of the only shoes I brought that are waterproof, so we're going with it. Again, I'm wearing my black jeans. I'm probably going to wear these most days, to be honest, so I'm sorry. Bit of an outfit repeater here. Black belt. I'm wearing stripes again. I'm sorry. I love stripes, and I feel like, again, it's quite nautical. And because we are going to be, I haven't told you today's plans, but because we're going to be by the water, I was like, I have to. So I'm wearing that. This is from TJ Maxx, I think. And yeah, some gold jewelry. And today's plans are nice. So we woke up a bit earlier today, had breakfast. Another couple arrived at our B&B. They are from Switzerland. So everyone at the table speaks German but us. But they were really nice, really friendly people, and we're all just helping each other understand each other, and it's really lovely. So we had a small breakfast this morning downstairs. We had some yogurt and berries with granola and some toast. But the menu is really nice. Lucy is great. She's a great host and a lot of options for food. And yeah, it's a beautiful day. And today we are heading to St. Michael's Mount, I think. As long as the weather is decent, we'll probably be able to see that. then we're going to go to Land's End, and then we're going to end the day at St. Ives. So I think we're going to be spending most of our time at St. Ives today, really. And we have dinner booked at a really nice Spanish restaurant. It's kind of a Spanish-Cornish fusion, and we have a booking there, so it's going to be really nice. Yesterday was such a nice day. So we ended up not being able to do St. Michael's Mount. It just, again, there's so much to do but so little time. But instead we went to Land's End, which was so cool. Highly recommend. There's not a lot, obviously, to do, but it's just so cool to see it. Unfortunately, parking, you have to pay for parking, which was like almost £8 just to park to see the end of the land. But it was worth it. So they do have a couple like restaurants or cafes there, and maybe a couple shops too, but like we didn't do any of that. We just wanted to see the end of the land, and so we did. We had a beautiful day yesterday. So on the drive down, because it was quite a long drive, it did rain a bit, but once we got there, the weather was absolutely perfect for the rest of the day. We saw just like pure sunshine. It was a bit chilly, and you know, because at the end, Land's End, it was very windy, as you might imagine. But it was beautiful, very sunny, and just so cool to see it. And then after that, we had a really nice scenic drive to St. Ives. And yeah, it was quite busy there, but still really beautiful, and I think still worth seeing. There were a couple beaches there and lots of shops and restaurants and, you know, lots of things. It was just a nice town. But yeah, lots of people, so quite difficult to walk around, and some cars driving all the way in as well. So yeah, got quite busy, but really nice. We didn't do a whole lot there. We walked around, kind of just explored the town. We got lots of pictures and things. And we had an incredible dinner, you guys. It was an amazing restaurant, so it is in the Michelin Guide, and it was phenomenal. Tom and I both agreed it was spectacular. So we did a bit of research before coming on this trip, and especially with restaurants, we love food, and we wanted to make sure we went to a couple really nice places while we were here. And this restaurant, I'll put the name on the screen, they were in the Michelin Guide, and it was so worth it, you guys. It was phenomenal. So, of course, not as cheap as any old restaurant, but it was so worth it. So Tom and I just sampled a bunch of different things. So we had a Greek feta salad. We had this kind of, like some kind of sausage with a yogurt type sauce. We had, oh gosh, I'm trying to think. We had like a mushroom and truffle pasta. We had a crab linguine. We had some bread with olive oil. We had so many different things that we sampled, and it was all phenomenal. Everything we tasted, we were like, wow, that was really delicious. There was not one thing that we ate that we were like, could have been better. All of it was spectacular. Highly recommend this restaurant. You need to go if you are in St. Ives or in Cornwall. It is so, so good. Even the vibes in there were immaculate. I loved it. So we both really, really enjoyed it. And then that was it. So after that we came back, and yeah, it was quite a long drive. It was a lot of driving yesterday in general, but yeah, really, really nice day. And yeah, today is Tuesday, and this morning we went down for breakfast, and it's so funny because Lucy, the host, was saying that she's never had her guests come down so early for breakfast, so she says breakfast is between 8 and 9:30. And like I said, we have some people from Austria and a couple from Switzerland here with us, and so we all just get to talk and chat in the mornings and learn about each other's cultures, and it was just like, it's so fun. And so all of us are down there at like 8 on the dot. And she was saying how none of her guests ever come down so early. We're all such early risers, and you know, we should take a vacation. But it's so nice. Like, it's just fun to talk to everyone, and I love a bed and breakfast for that reason. And I haven't been to many bed and breakfasts in my life, but maybe we'll start to do it a bit more, just because it's quite a different experience to a hotel or staying in your own cottage. It's just something, again, it feels like home. There's something so comforting about it, but yet you get to meet different people and talk to them and spend time with them. We even ran into some of the people the other day who are also staying here, so that was funny. But yeah, so it's just been nice. We're back to the rain, unfortunately, today, but it doesn't look too dark out there. It might be okay, we'll see. But today we're going to take it a bit slower, just because yesterday was quite busy and a bit stressful and just tiring, really. Still enjoyable. But today we're just going to stick close by to the B&B. It was the plan to go to Lizard Point, I think is what it was, and just kind of do some exploring of like the coastline and things like that. But we're just going to see how the weather goes. And we're just gonna see how we feel. But yeah, we're definitely gonna take today slower and just kind of see what we get up to. Really casual out today again. I'm just wearing some blue jeans and a little black t-shirt and a cardigan. But I'm about to change into a fleece because it's quite windy out there. So yeah, I'll take you along. Tomorrow's plans are quite exciting as well. So I'm crossing my fingers that it'll be a decent day weather-wise. But yeah, so gonna get going. I'll take you along. Again, today may not be the most exciting day, but it'll still be nice. So we're gonna get going and catch up soon. All right, it is day 5, I think, technically, of our Cornwall trip. And yeah, it's coming to an end. Today is our last full day, and then tomorrow is, yeah, we're heading home. I mean, tomorrow we're gonna try and do all that we can, though, before it gets too dark and before heading home. But yeah, so it's been a great trip. So far, highlights are definitely the Spanish restaurant we went to in St. Ives, and just that whole day in general, I think, because it was a beautiful day, it was sunny, not too cold, and also just what we saw. I think Land's End was amazing and St. Ives was nice. And then, yeah, I don't know, I just really loved it. The dinner was phenomenal. So, and Eden Project was another highlight for me. And I think Tom would say the same. But yeah, today it is another rainy day, but not as bad, I think, as yesterday. I think it'll be somewhat on and off and not as dark, so I'll take it. What did we do? Oh yeah, yesterday was such a washout that we really didn't do much. I'll tell you what we did, but it was nothing crazy, which is why there are no clips from yesterday, but I will insert a couple that I took from my phone. So yeah, we took yesterday very slowly, and we kind of needed that anyway. It was kind of nice to have a rest day after a busy day beforehand, so it worked out. So yesterday, yeah, we had a slow morning here at the B&B, had a nice breakfast with everyone downstairs, which was just so nice. It's like my favorite part. I don't know, I love being able to talk to people from different parts of the world and learning about different cultures and teaching people about mine. It's just really cool. So yeah, I think it's part of the experience, you know, the B&B experience. But yeah, so I had a nice breakfast yesterday, and then we got ready, and we were going back and forth because we originally planned to go to Lizard, and then we just thought, because it was pouring all day, it really didn't let up very much. We thought, let's change things up. So instead, we went for a walk nearby. There is a walking and cycling trail, I think it's called the Camel Trail, very close to where we're staying. And we went on a little walk. We didn't go very far, but we went on a bit of a walk along the trail, got soaking wet. And then we looked up cafes nearby because we thought, how nice would it be to just have something nice and warming, like a soup or a hot chocolate at a nice little cafe. And we found one called Snail's Pace, or the Snail's Pace Cafe, which was really cute. And it's kind of close by to the trail, and I think it's probably mainly meant for people walking or cycling on the trail, just to stop along the way to have something to eat or drink. So yeah, basically we ended up there, and I kind of wanted a hot chocolate. It was one of those days. So I had a Spanish style hot chocolate, which is supposed to be thicker and creamier. To me, it just kind of tasted like a normal hot chocolate, but it was good. So I had that, and actually they had a chocolate, banana, and walnut cake. So I had a slice of that, and it was phenomenal. And Tom ended up having the soup, which I think was like a tomato, basil, garlic type soup. And yeah, so we just had something very small yesterday as like an early lunch, and it was very, very tasty. But we highly recommend that cafe. It is a family-owned cafe, and a lot of the things that they make are organic and really tasty. And it was a tiny, tiny little cafe, so it's not like a massive place. Really tiny, but really sweet. And they even do different themed nights sometimes, which, you know, we're not going to be, I don't know, We've been wanting to go to different restaurants and things for dinners, but they do, like, on Saturdays, I think, they do different themed nights. So this Saturday is like a Greek night, different things like that. But we highly recommend going there if you're in the Bodmin area or nearby. I mean, other than that, we came back to the B&B and relaxed. We watched some Downton Abbey while we were here, because I've been obsessed with the show, you guys. I started watching it toward the end of summer because Tom recommended it. He said he watched it when it first came out, and so we've been watching it together, and I love it. It is so good. The last movie is coming out in just a few days' time now, but I don't want to watch it till we've finished the series and all the movies, so oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with it. But anyway, we sat here in the B&B and just watched some of that, and then we got ready for dinner. We kept it really simple, really casual though, and we went to a place called the Old Inn, and actually we ran into some of the people staying at our B&B. We ran into them there, which was really funny. That's happened a couple times, and it's always hilarious running into them. So yeah, we all had our dinner there separately, but you know, we saw them. And I had some ham with fried eggs and new potatoes, and Tom had some sausages, and I forget what his came with. I think peas and mashed potatoes. And again, it was nothing crazy, fancy, or special. Didn't taste out of this world, but it was good comfort food, and it was perfect for a day like yesterday. I was quite busy in there, so thankfully we got there earlier than most, I think, so that was good. But yeah, it was very busy in there. I think they weren't expecting that many people, but it was lovely. So that was yesterday. I think we're really just going to spend this morning driving around, maybe stopping at a beach somewhere, kind of quieter, again, not going into anywhere crazy. We were going to go to Port Isaac, which is another kind of popular tourist destination in Cornwall. A bit smaller, I think, than St. Ives, but quite popular and touristy anyway, but we might not do that. I think we are going to try and find, again, like a little coastline or a beach just to stop on. Probably not to sit there too long because, again, it is kind of a sort of a wet day. But we'll see. Just kind of coastline exploring this morning. And then later on, we are going to be going to Padstow, which is another touristy spot, but it's incredible because I think it's, I don't know, I think it's going to be beautiful. And also, Rick Stein, who I had no idea who that was till Tom told me, but he's this famous chef, known for his seafood. And he's got a few restaurants in Cornwall, but I think more specifically Padstow. According to Tom, some people even call it Padstein because of his last name, because he's so well known in the area and his food is supposed to be amazing. So we had to book it in a while ago to make sure we got in, but we have booked in at his cafe for dinner tonight. So the Rick Stein Cafe. We did make a booking, or not a booking, we did get on the wait list for his seafood restaurant, but it was fully booked, and to be honest, we're kind of okay doing the cafe, so we're going to do that tonight at 6, and I'll take you along with us on this day. I think it's going to be really lovely, and I think the rain will be less harsh than it was yesterday. I think it's sort of going to be a bit on and off. Like right now, it doesn't look like it's raining, so, you know, we're just going to have to do what we have to do, and we'll survive. But that's that. So really nice plans today. And I'll show you my outfit. Again, it's nothing fancy. I've kind of been wearing the same stuff over and over, and especially because it's kind of cold, I'm like just trying to stay warm at this point. So I'm not wearing my shoes at the moment, but I'm just wearing my black mango jeans. This tank top is from Target, my striped cardigan, which I lost a button and I'm so upset, but it's fine. I don't really care. I'm just cold. And then I'm going to be wearing a couple other layers on top of this, including a rain jacket to make sure I stay warm and dry. I put my hair up today because it's getting a bit greasy. So I used a little claw clip. It's kind of nice to have it out of my face, and especially on a rainy day, I don't really want my hair down. But anyway, that's that. We had a nice breakfast again this morning, and everyone's just so nice here. And I'll talk more about, well, I don't know. I was going to say at the end of the video I might recommend more things, but I just want to say, if you are, I guess, quite social, or you love to learn, I feel like bed and breakfasts are so nice for people like that, for people like me and Tom, because I used to never think, and I never was a social person. I was always super introverted, and I am quite quiet even today, but I do enjoy talking to people, and I do enjoy being social and learning, and B&Bs are just so nice for that. You meet so many interesting people and you learn a lot, and I just feel like if you were not a social person, you would never stay at a place like this. You would probably stay at a hotel or a private cottage or something like that. But I'm so grateful that Tom and I discovered Trewerdale because it's a beautiful place. Like, our room is stunning, the house is incredible, and everyone's just so nice and friendly. And yeah, breakfast every morning is nice because that's another thing that Tom and I think is important. If you're going to stay somewhere, like, you know, these days a lot of places like, hotels, you usually have to pay extra to have a breakfast, or Continental's not always very nice at a lot of hotels. And then if you're staying in your own private, like, cottage, you're going to have to deal with breakfast on your own. But it's so nice that even if you have to spend a little more and come to a place like a B&B, It's so nice. It's just, you can rely on breakfast every day. There's always something different that we've been eating every day. This morning we had an avocado toast with poached egg on top, and yeah, just every day is different, but also comforting and wholesome. And B&Bs just feel more homely, which I think is what we like. So anyway, I'll stop rambling, but it's just been nice, and I'm sad that the trip is almost over, but we do hope to come back. And for now, I just want to say we highly recommend staying here. I'm going to link everything I possibly can below. You know, every place we ate, everything we did. If I can link it below, I will. So you'll find it all there, including the link to this B&B. So highly recommend, but I'll stop yapping. I'll take you along on this day, crossing our fingers that it stays somewhat dry. Alright everyone, so today is basically day 6, I guess, and it is our final day. We're heading home today, and I'm sad that it's over. It feels like this trip flew by. Like the first couple days of any trip are always kind of like, oh, we get to take our time, we have so much time to see everything, and then you get kind of halfway through the trip and you're like, oh dang, this is going quick. So I'm sad that we're heading home today, but yeah, we're gonna try and make the most of it. So I'm trying to think what we did yesterday. So yesterday was another day where we kind of changed plans. I think I mentioned that. We started off the day by going to this beach, and it was very windy and very rainy again yesterday. The rain wasn't as heavy, but it was still pretty constant throughout the day. It would stop and the sun would come out, and then 5 minutes later we're back to rain. But yeah, we went onto this beach. We even saw a man painting on the beach, which was beautiful. I always love seeing people just doing that kind of thing out in the world. It's lovely to see. And we spent some time on the beach just getting a few photos and clips and walking around. And then after that, we went to this lighthouse. I'll put the name on the screen if I could think of it, but I'm sure Tom will know. But yeah, we stopped by this little lighthouse and we walked over to that. We couldn't go in it or anything, or we couldn't go super close to it, but it was still nice to see. I always like seeing lighthouses. I don't know why. So we did that, and then we headed back to the car. We kind of let the rain pass, and then we headed to Padstow. And yeah, I was really excited to see it, and as soon as we got there, we parked and we headed down, and immediately I was like, yeah, I think this is very us. I don't know. St. Ives was nice, but Padstow was kind of another harbor town. I think it was just a bit more us. I don't know. It was really nice. It was small. Again, you don't need a whole day there, but it was really lovely to see. So yeah, the sun was out when we got there and it quickly turned, but it was nice to at least arrive in the sunshine. And yeah, so I think when we got there, we immediately had some lunch because it was about that time, and we went to this place called like Ember's Pizza or something like that. And we shared this mushroom truffle pizza, which was good. We even shared a milkshake. It was a chocolate Oreo milkshake. And then after that, we explored Padstow a little bit. We did lots of walking around, lots of taking photos and things like that. And then, yeah, we were debating on what to do about the ferry, because there is a ferry that takes you from Padstow to Rock and Rock to Padstow. And we were trying to figure out if we should do it. We had to pay in total £12 for the whole journey, which I think was a bit ridiculous because the ferry ride was super quick. And to be honest, I don't think it was really worth it. Like, I don't know, it was fun to take a little boat ride. I always love a little boat ride, but there wasn't anything to do in Rock. There is a restaurant, so there are, I think, 2 main like chefs that people always want to go to their restaurants in Padstow or Rock, and it is Rick Stein and Paul Ainsworth, I think is his name. And one of, I think, Paul's restaurants, I think the Mariners was what it was called, I think is in Rock. We passed it. But other than that, I think most of the restaurants are here in Padstow, but I just don't think Rock was anything worth really seeing too much, just because it felt very residential, and the closest like town to see was a bit of a walk. So we just thought, like, I don't know, we walked a little bit and we were like, we can head back. But yeah, there wasn't much to see, but hey, it's okay. And also when we got to Rock, the ferry stopped, like, I don't know how to describe it. It didn't stop somewhere that was easy for us to get through. So like it stopped, let us off, and we had to walk over sand, and there was a ton of water that we would have had to walk through, and it wasn't high waters, but we were both wearing white sneakers, and we were like, well, we're gonna ruin our shoes. I was concerned. So we found a way around, but still it was just a bit probably more stressful than it needed to be. I think because of the tide, it depends on the tide for the ferries, like where they're gonna stop. I don't know if that was English right there, but whatever. I'm tired today. So yeah, that was that. And then we ended up back in Padstow not much later because, again, there wasn't much to do. So we ended up in Padstow, walked around a bit more, and then we had our dinner booked at Rick Stein's Cafe. So, oh my goodness, you guys. So another highlight was definitely the restaurant. Highly recommend any of Rick Stein's restaurants. It definitely seems like the place to try. The cafe is a bit more affordable, but his main restaurant is his seafood restaurant, which we walked past. I think I got a clip of it. a bit more money, and also, again, you need to book that well in advance to make sure that you can get it if you really want to go eat there. But the way we saw it was that, hey, the cafe will probably be quieter and more affordable, but you still get the same quality food and you still get to try Rick Stein's food, so like, why not? And it's an excuse to come back and try the restaurant at some point in the future. But the cafe was phenomenal, you guys. It's called a cafe, but they do full-on meals there. I had the miso salmon. So it was salmon with some noodles, and the noodles were very spicy, but the food was phenomenal. Like, I've never had salmon that was so delicate and soft. It was incredible. And Tom had the sea bream, and that was one of the specials, and we were both debating on getting it, but then we thought, let's just both get something different so we can try each other's. And the sea bream was spectacular. It had basil, it had cashew nuts, it had some sort of like chili sauce. It had a hot and sour sauce or something. It wasn't spicy, at least I didn't think his was, but it was phenomenal. Both our meals were spectacular. And then we thought, we're on vacation and we haven't actually had a dessert anywhere yet, like after having dinner. So we had dessert. Tom had some ice cream. He had the pistachio, chocolate, and salted caramel ice cream, and I had this cheesecake with a pear and ginger like compote on top, and it was phenomenal. Oh my goodness. The woman next to me, who sat next to me, was like, she's like, you'll have to let me know if that is as good as it looks. And I was like, I'll let you know. And afterwards she turned to me and she's like, I have to ask. And I'm like, it was delicious. Highly recommend. So Rick Stein's restaurants, we could not recommend more. It was so worth doing. And it was a perfect way to kind of end our time here for our last evening. So highly recommend Rick Stein's restaurant, or Paul Ainsworth, I guess. I've never tried them, but those restaurants, but they seem to be just as highly rated, really. But I think this will be the end of the video. I'm gonna try and include a few clips down below in the description as well, on some of the things we did or wanted to do, and just some of the things we experienced. So if you're coming to Cornwall or planning a trip, I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope it was also entertaining. Make sure, if you haven't seen part 1, to check out part 1 of the video. I think I'm going to split them in 2 parts, and if not, this is all one whole video. But I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, I'm going to leave, like I said, tips and advice in the description, and I'm going to get going. We're going to get the day started. So I'll say thanks so much for watching. We had such a great time. I wanted to come on one last time with Tom because he hasn't really been in the video. We've been on the trip together. But yeah, what did you think, baby? Did you have a nice time?
I did. It was
really
good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Any highlights in particular? Anything you loved?
I think some of the food was really good. So the seafood that we had at Rick Stein's was fantastic. Such full of flavour.
Yes, high quality.
High quality, fresh, local.
Yeah.
And also the food that we had at, we went to a kind of Spanish, Cornish fusion.
Yes.
Restaurants in St Ives. We had tapas.
Yes.
We had a lot of tapas.
We had like 7 between us.
But it was fantastic.
It was so good.
Just such, such just great flavours.
Yeah, it was
full of texture. Lots of fun.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that was great. It was my first time here, and you've been a great, I know you haven't been in a long time, but you've been a great like host, showing me around, and it's been lovely. So yeah, we're really looking forward to coming back. We thought maybe next time we could come like late spring, early summer, just to be here when it's a bit warmer. But overall, we had a lovely time.
We did.
So thanks for taking me.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so now we'll end the vlog, and I'll just take you along on whatever else we get up to, and that'll be it. So thanks again for watching, and see you in the next one.